All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakak. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in His truth. I'm Bathaka Moth GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. And I think I'm going to entitle this one, The Remnant is Returning. And that's exactly what the times that we're in, man. The remnant, which when you go into the word remnant, it means few in number, a small number or few, you know, of the nation of Israel, man, which the nation of Israel consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. You make up the 12 no longer lost tribes of the nation of Israel, man. We know who we are now in these times, because of that great awakening and that returning of the Lord's people coming back to Him in these times, man. All these things were prophesied to happen, and we're in a time of these things happening, man. Revelation, the 19th chapter and verse 10, tells you that Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly refers to as Jesus Christ, is the spirit of prophecy, man. And when you read in Sirach, Ecclesiasticus Sirach, the 39th chapter in verse 1 in the Apocrypha, it tells you that we should be occupied in the meditation thereof of prophecy and the meditation thereof. You know what I'm saying? So we should be occupied in prophecy, man. So everything is about the prophecies. And it was clearly prophesied that the nation of Israel was going to have to fall away. There was going to be a falling away. And then there was going to be a return, man. And we're in the times of the return of the remnant, because the Lord, during the time that we were in the physical land of Egypt, the Lord delivered the entire nation of Israel. But when we got into the wilderness, they were murmuring and complaining, So the Lord didn't allow them to enter the entire nation to enter into the kingdom, man. So no new thing under the sun, man. It's going to happen again in these times, man. The entire nation is not going to be delivered in these times, though. But in the physical land, out of the physical land of Egypt, He delivered the entire nation. But out of the spiritual Egypt, He's only going to deliver the elect in 1/3, man, the remnant. And the scriptures go into that. So I'm going to get into a really quick hit lesson going into that, because we're in the times of the remnant returning, man. You know what I'm saying? So off the top, I want to start right here in Luke, the second chapter. This is Luke chapter 2 and verse 34, because these things were prophesied. This is Luke 2 and 34, and it reads, "And Simeon blessed them and said unto Mary, his mother, Behold, this child," which the child that he's speaking of course, you should know, is the Messiah, Yahushua, man. It says, "Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against." And that sign that's being spoken against is the prophets, man, the men of the Lord, the servants and prophets out here on the highways and byways throughout the four corners of the earth, bringing this truth out, prophesying the downfall and destruction of Esau and his wicked kingdom, is spoken against, man. And it says, "Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel." So that right there shows you that and proves that the Lord is not going to deliver the entire nation, man. He's not dealing with the whole nation, because Yahushua was set. And let's get in this word "set" real quick, because when you go into that word, it literally means to something that's appointed, or destined, Oh, now my boy, look at this, boy, look at Satan. Did I turn my Salakia? I don't have that on, so why is that? Why is it not going, boy? Satan, boy. Look at Satan, man. Let's see if it'll work this time. Salakia. Yeah, Satan is trying to stop this lesson. He's trying to cause problems in this lesson, man. We ain't gonna let it stop us, though. We're gonna keep it moving. When you go into your brothers and sisters, you can look it up. Akwath, Akwathium, Salakia, Akim and Akwathium. You can go into Luke the second chapter and verse 34 and go into that word "set," and it's gonna. As a matter of fact, let me just hold on one sec. Let me do it like this. Salakia, hold on one sec. Let me do it like this. Satan, boy. Satan is something. Let me pull it up over here real quick so I can read off the definition really quick, because that's crazy, man. Phone is tripping. Satan, man. Hey, when this truth is coming out, you know, that's his job. He tries to block, man. There it is right there. All right, let me go into this word real quick. Let's see. Where's it at? Set. Okay. And I'm going to let this devil say it. Hold on 1 sec.
49. Kaim. Strong's G 2749. Kaimai. Kaimai.
Kaimai. And when you go into that word, it's it literally means there it is right there, under the number 2, metaphorically, letter A, to be by God's intent set, i.e. destined, appointed. So as I was saying, something that's destined or appointed, man, you know. So when you read this verse, it says, and Luke 2:34, and Simeon blessed them and said unto Mary his mother, behold, this child is set, destined, or appointed for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against. You know, and of course that fall came during the time of Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? You know, Eve listened to the serpent, you know, was beguiled by the serpent, and Adam followed suit, man. You know what I'm saying? Nose wide open like the men of our nation are today behind his woman, man, you know. And instead of, you know, which it was supposed to happen that way, you know what I'm saying? The story was written that way. It was supposed to happen that way. So that fall came during that time, man. You know what I'm saying? We took that L during the time of the garden with Adam and Eve, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and us in the know, we know when you read in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, it lets you know that Yahushai is Adam, man. You know what I'm saying? And so he was set for the fall and the rising again of many in Israel, man. So we took the fall, man. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, the rising of many in Israel, not the entire nation, because Zechariah the 13th chapter and verse 8 is prophesied that 2 parts, which is the majority of the nation, is going to be cut off and die. But the 1 part is going to be bought through the fire, which is that remnant, that small number, man. You know what I'm saying? And the remnant, and we're in the time of the remnant of returning, of the remnant returning, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into the fall, because that was prophesied that it had to happen. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And as a matter of fact, I just started at the top at verse 1. It reads, now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, Salakia, verse 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. And that's been being preached during from the time that Yahushua was on the scene, taught the disciples, and sent them away, sent them out. What did he tell them? Go preach the kingdom of the nation of Israel is at hand, man, or nigh is at hand, man. You know what I'm saying? So since then up until now, we've been teaching that the kingdom is at hand, man, because we're in that final day, man. You know what I'm saying? We were in the last days. We've been in the last days since the time of Yahushua, but we're definitely in the last day. We're in that day now. So verse 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come. And what day is that? We just read it. It says, the day of Hamashiach is at hand. What is that day? The kingdom of heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, man, which is the kingdom of Yahushua, man. You know, he's coming to take dominion of the planet earth and rule the earth in righteousness, you know, for 1,000 years. You know, he's going to be ruling, helping get this earth set back up in righteousness, man. You know what I'm saying? So it says, verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, For that day shall not come, the kingdom of heaven, except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, which we now know who that is, man. You know, the Esau, the biblical Edomites, man, the red Hebrew Edomites, who in these times are the so-called self-proclaimed white people. You know, the so-called self-proclaimed white man is the man of sin. He's the son of perdition or destruction, man. You know, that's who it's talking about. So we now know who the elephant in the room is. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a time of these things happening, man. You know, his revealing, we know who he is now. So, and that falling away happened. You know what I'm saying? That falling away, that we just read that in Luke, the 2nd chapter, man, in verse 34. You know, Yahushua was set for the falling away, for the fall and the rising again of many in Israel, man. So that falling away was prophesied, man. It had to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? So there had to be a falling away first, which that happened. Let's get that real quick. You know, that was prophesied to happen. Let's get that real quick in Jeremiah, the 17th chapter. This Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4, and it reads, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever, man. So that's that falling away. And of course, this was the Jeremiah, the prophet Jeremiah, was being talked to here. But Jeremiah is an Israelite, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's saying, and thou even thyself. So even Jeremiah, who is a righteous prophet of the Lord, was going to discontinue from his heritage as well, man. You know, but he's part of that remnant that's returning, man. Jeremiah is here today, man. One of these brothers, you know, is Jeremiah, man. You know. But this is going into the falling away, man. You know, we was going to lose our heritage and be serve our enemies, you know, in a land which we know is not, as it says, man. You know, which is prophesied again, you know, in the curses, man. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I'm gonna go ahead and read verse 64. Then I'll drop down to verse 68. And it reads, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that happened, man. We were scattered into the four corners of the earth, man, as it says that would happen. Of course, you can read Leviticus, the 26th chapter in verse 33. It goes into that scattering. Hosea, the 8th chapter in verse 8, you know, we're among the Gentiles, you know what I'm saying? So we were scattered, man. You know what I'm saying? And our people are caught up in that wood and stone, which primarily means Christianity and Islam, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to drop down because that scattering happened by way of the transatlantic slave trade. This is Deuteronomy 28 in verse 68. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, man. So we were put on slave ships, and the transatlantic slave trade goes back to all the way back to the northern kingdom with the Hispanics and Native Americans as well, man. You know what I'm saying? During the time of 1492, when Cristobal Colon, whom everybody thinks his name is Christopher Columbus, you know, true name is Cristobal Colon. Came over over here to these parts, man, and almost decimated Gad over here, man. You know what I'm saying? And then of course they spread them out through Europe over there, man. You know what I'm saying? But and of course after that, during the 1600s, you know, the Southern Kingdom was dispersed over into these, and you know, of course they scattered us, you know, them as well throughout the four corners, but primarily over here in the Americas, where the northern kingdom had been. So it says, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, you know, transatlantic slave trade. There's only one slave trade by way of ships, man. So we know what this is talking about. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, talking about our homeland of Israel, of the land of Israel. And there, the places that we were scattered, primarily here in America, ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, slave men, slave women, and no man shall buy you, you know, redeem you, you know, be able to save you. because that's the only way you're going to be saved or redeemed, purchased. You were purchased with a price. So that's how it's going to have to go down, man, is when Yahushua returns, man, But when we read, let me jump over to the Apocrypha now, because when we read in Baruch, the 4th chapter, these things happened, but it wasn't to destroy us, man. This is Baruch 4 and 6, and it reads, ye were sold to the nations, scattered, the scattering, nations plural, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. So we moved the Most High to wrath, and he delivered us to the enemies, man. When we go off, the Lord jacks us up, man, as a nation, man. And that's why our people are scattered in this jacked up conditions everywhere we are in these times, man, no matter where we are, because we went off. Verse 7, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High, man. And that's why we are in this predicament to this very day, our nation as a whole, man, which they're still doing these sacrificing unto devils and idols as we speak, man, and that's exactly why they're getting jacked up, shot down in the streets, put to death on a daily basis, right to this very day, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but as it said in verse 6, it wasn't for our destruction, but because we moved the Most High to wrath, man. So there's going to come an end to these things, man. It's not forever. It was for a period of time. As a matter of fact, let me get that in Isaiah real quick. I'm just moving through the spirit now. The spirit is taking over because I didn't even have this one. I wasn't going to even go into this scripture, but hey, this is Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 6. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushai hath called thee Salakia. Verse 7. Isaiah 54 and verse 7, for a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy Redeemer. So, just for a small moment, man, you know what I'm saying? But now, we're in a time of those great mercies, man. The Lord forsook his nation for a period of time to punish them. You know what I'm saying? That's why we were brought over here to the Americas for a period of time, this short period of time. You know what I'm saying? Punishment, man. This was a prison sentence. Micah 2 and 10 goes into that, man. This is not our rest. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord, but we're in a time of the return now. We're in a time of those great mercies, man. So, let's go here. Hosea chapter 6 and verse 1. It's Hosea 6 and 1. And it reads, come and let us return unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's the times that we're in, man. For he hath torn and he will heal us. He tore us. He split our kingdom up and jacked us up, put us under the curses and hey, man, beat the nation of Israel's behind, man. So he hath torn and he will heal us. So we're in a time of healing, man. You know what I'm saying? Our nation, the remnant of our nation is coming back together, and you can get the account of that. We're standing up on our feet, an exceeding great army in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, man. It says he has smitten and he will bind us up, man. So the Lord smote his people, put us to death. He's been allowing this devil, who is his sword, to go hard, man, have free range. And he's not done, because the 2/3 still have, in these times, are going to have to be dealt with, man. So there's still much death going to come to the nation of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'm speaking about the elect, the remnant that's returning. Our nation got smote as a whole, but now he will bind us up. That's the elect. That's the remnant, man. And it says after 2 days will he revive us, and we started getting revived after those 2 days, man, And in the 3rd day, which we're in right now as we speak, he will raise us up and we shall live in his sight. So we're at the point and we're in the time of deliverance, man, and salvation, man. We're in that 3rd day. We're in the time that the Lord is where he's raising us up, but he's about to really, truly put us back on top, man. When our big brother Yahushua returns and establishes and sets up the throne of David, because the scriptures tell you that he's going to sit on the throne of his father David, man. And when you understand, when David was on the throne, the nations were in captivity, man, So that's what's about to be established in these times, man. And that's why the scriptures go into that. Isaiah 14, we're going to take those that had us in the captive, our captives, those that had us in the captivity captive, and we're going to oppress the oppressors, man. Jeremiah 30 and 16, Revelations 13 and 10, man. All of these scriptures go into what's about to happen. Psalms 149, 7 through 9, man. You know what I'm saying? This devil is about to get what he dished out back, man. He's about to go in chains, man. Because we're in this time, man. We're in the third day. We're in the time of the remnant returning, and the Lord is raising his people up and about to put them back on the top, and he's about to we're about to live in his sight. So we're in those times, man. That's the return, and it's prophesied also in Isaiah, the 10th chapter. Shalakia. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day," which we're in that day now, "that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob," escaped what? Destruction, man. Jacob's trouble. All the perilous and evil times that are upon us right now. They're going to escape these things. Lord willing, I can be a part of that. "Shall no more again stay upon him that smote them," which is talking about Esau. Because when you read in the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it says we were going to have to go to this nigga for the want of all things, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, "But shall stay upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth." So, and that word "stay" means to depend on or rely on. We've had to rely on Esau, and that's why we've been going off all this time. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing, unknowingly, because our heritage got taken away from us. And we have to go to this man, this devil, for the one of all things, man. He's putting pork in everything. Just got us going off, man. But now that remnant is returning, and they're starting to check the labels and check things and go a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? Not just eating, blindly. It's because it's on the shelf, man. You know what I'm saying? They've come out of the ways of this world, man. They're not celebrating holidays and Christmas and birthdays anymore, man. They're not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and all the abominable foods anymore, man. They're not sleeping with the next man, woman anymore, man. We're observing and doing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man. And what does it say in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter? We know that it said in 15, if we didn't, he was going to put all the curses on us, which that happened, man. But when you start at the top at verse 1, what does it say, man? As a matter of fact, let me just get it. Let me get it, man. Let's just read it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. This is going to happen if we listen, man. And the remnant that's returning, they're listening, man. We're hearkening now. So let's find out what's going to happen. Deuteronomy 28 and 1. "And it shall come to pass," meaning it's going to happen, "if thou shalt hearken," listen, "diligently unto the voice of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day." And how do you observe and do by the voice of the Lord? Listen to his prophets, man, his servants, his men that he has set up that's out here telling you what you need to be doing, man. It says, if you hearken, that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, man. Because we were intended to be that in the first place. When you read in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter and verse 6, he chose the nation of Israel to be that people near and dear to him above all people of the earth, man. All nations of the earth. That's if we hearken, if we listen to do to abide by the will and way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we will receive these things. But Jake is hard-headed, rebellious people, man. And they did what they wanted to do, the opposite. The majority of us, not all of us, but the Lord judges nations, man. So our whole nation had to go into captivity, man, because of that. But now the remnant is returning, and we're about to receive verse 2, Deuteronomy 28 and 2, because the remnant is hearkening to the commandments of the Lord. It says, "And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power." So blessings are coming, man. We had the curse. We had the curses. Now we're going to get the blessing, which is set up for us we were set up to go through both of them anyway. We read in Luke 2 that Yahushai was set for the fall and rising again of many. When you jump over to Deuteronomy 30 and 1, And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse. So it was always set up that way, man. We were going to go through both. You know what I'm saying? Which I have set before thee, appointed, destined. You were going to go through both of them. That's just how the Lord set the story up, man. It's a beautiful story now that we know, the truth of it. And thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power hath driven thee. And they're being called to mind right now, man. We're remembering. We're in a time of remembrance, man. I stir up your pure mind by way of remembrance, man. Apostle Peter said that, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to remember ourselves. It's in Apocrypha, man. I believe that's in Baruch, the second or third chapter. Salakia, I think it may be the second chapter. Baruch 2 and like 30 or 31, somewhere in there. We were going to remember ourselves in the land of our captivities, man. So we're in these times, man, and the remnant is returning, man. And it's a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful story. You know what I'm saying? These devils are afraid. Revelations, the 11th chapter goes into us getting that breath back. Again, Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, which is that rising up and that remnant returning, man. And coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, coming back to the will and way of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. So we're in these times, man. Prophecies are playing out, and this is a beautiful story, man. So, hey, I just want to bring out a real quick lesson because we're in these times. The remnant is definitely returning, and the kingdom is at hand, man. So with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Wahara Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shah Dawadat, Shalom.